I noticed something when I was when I was looking at some of these fact-checking organizations. I was reading about. I saw a website, and I forgot what the name of it was, and they were saying like some outlandish claim. And I went there and I was reading about it, and I was like, this story seems nuts. So I pulled up these fact-checking sites. You got like Check Your Fact and like, Know Your Fact or whatever, and Lead Stories. And I started reading about one of these sites, and it said, these stories are fake news. This is a conspiracy theory website. But one of the stories quoted like a former CIA official. And so I said, how is that fake news? It's a quote for it's a guy asking a CIA official, what do you think about this thing? And they said, yeah, but the CIA official said crazy stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. Define crazy. You know what I mean? So basically what happens is you can get former intelligence individuals to go on record and say something, but if it goes against orthodoxy, then the media machine is like, that must be fake news, therefore it is. For example, I'll give you another really good example. Joe Biden, was he wearing a wire? Did you see this?
Yes.
Okay, they said, fake news, it was a crease in his shirt. And I said, you saying it was a crease is as speculative as them saying it was a wire. How do you know it was a crease in his shirt? Did you inspect his lapel? No. They just literally said, oh, these people are crazy. I think it was a crease. Therefore, you're all fake news. So you have two people arguing and speculating with each other on the internet, yet one of them is granted power to actually inhibit the spread of certain information. And that's the current state of things.
Well, that one was weird, that whole Joe Biden thing. I thought that if whether that was a crease or a wire, I thought that wire was like a lav mic.
Yeah, it was a microphone.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
In his left sleeve, it looked like there was a little microphone.
No, that was a pen.
No, that was no.
I think it was Photoshopped.
No, apparently that was a rosary bead.
Oh,
he was wearing
really?
He was wearing a rosary for his for Bo.
Well, I know I did see the full image, but I thought in the image with the rosary, he just put the pen in his sleeve when he was not holding it.
Which he could have, but apparently it was a rosary. But either way, whether it was a pen or a mic or anything, or even if there was a wire here, like what would be the significance?
Yeah.
Because
I know, I don't care.
You couldn't, if he didn't have anything in his ear anyway, which IFBs they go behind you and in the ear. So
But you know what they're saying? They're saying that he had implantable bone conduction. I'm like, just
I believe.
He was neural
No,
netted
just
up.
get out of here. He's got Neuralink.
Yeah, he's already linked up.
He's being remote controlled by Elon Musk.
Okay, that I believe.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you imagine? There's like
Fine.
Hillary Clinton's in the back room with a remote control and a microphone, and she's like controlling him. And
Don't respond.
But Elon Musk is like, you have to press this button here if you want him to move his left hand up.
Yeah.
No, do it like you're doing it wrong. I'm trying to explain to you. And then she's like, oh, like this. And then and that's why Joe stutters and stammers.
Maybe like,
She's
look
like,
at the camera now. Turn this knob to make him look at the camera.
Elon Musk and Neuralink.
Like I don't usually fall for those conspiracy theories. Like when they say that Joe Biden is reading from a teleprompter when he's answering questions from reporters. Like, well, or the one where he was on James Corden and he's holding up pictures and you're like, oh, see, in reflection in the picture, there's a teleprompter. It's like, well, but he's just talking about his kids. Like, who cares? Like, even if he was like in that moment, I don't care if he's reading from a teleprompter. And he didn't sound like he was reading from a teleprompter, and he wasn't talking about policy.
But I don't understand the teleprompter thing anyway.
Well, because he has a broadcast camera set up in his home.
No, I just mean like, who cares?
Well, okay, but see, the thing is, there's been other times where he's been speaking with like a governor or something, and it's supposed to be a conversation.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like an off the cuff conversation, and then suddenly
he uses a prompter.
He'll go and use a prompter, and it's like, well, that's deceptive because it literally says in the title, a conversation with Governor so and so.
Do you remember the thing where he like pulls his hand to the side and starts fanning upwards?
Yeah,
like that's a prompter. He's saying speed up because I've used prompters before
and that's
too.
because he was reading from something,
right?
Anyway,
right, of course.
But the fact that he uses it as a crutch for everything. Like he just can't have a like I'm reading from a teleprompter now. You wouldn't know this. No, okay.
Yeah, it's all there. Everything he's saying is pre-programmed
Whole
by.
show.
It's
by-
all.
yeah.
This is all.
By
This is
Poofy?
all
Is that-
scripted, man.
Oh yeah, people don't realize we rehearsed for hours to get this
did,
right.
yeah.
Oh,
Big
man.
Tim takes time off.
Poofy is
rehearsal.
she's in the Google Doc right now,
Yeah,
like
she's
telling me
fixing
what
it
to
for
say.
you.
She's just real time doing the prompter.
I always got annoyed when Trump would go on prompt because he speaks off prompt and he's real natural, he's loud, and then he goes like this and he starts talking like this, and it's like, oh, he's boring Trump again because he's on the prompter.
Yeah, there's definitely teleprompter Trump and there's off the cuff like fun Trump. You know?
Correct.
And everybody loves fun Trump, and I love when he goes off.
Everybody, huh?
Well, yeah.
Oh, come on. All right. Well, everybody who's not completely triggered by Trump. You know?
Everyone who's normal.
Everybody's normal. Because Trump is funny. He's a
hilarious.
funny guy.
Like back in the day, with the presidents, they just didn't have a prompter before well, not for elections, but before TV, before radio and stuff.
Cue cards, maybe.
Maybe they had cue cards. Maybe they had like a speech in front of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
they'd write down their speech.
Did they also just talk to people a lot more frequently?
Yeah, I'd imagine.
We need that again.
But Trump's doing that.
Yeah, he kind of is.
I went go to a Trump rally, man, 'cause I've been to so many in the past cycle. It's like going and watching stand up. I'm not even exaggerating.
No, he's
self-aware.
He's a comedian.
He's an entertainer.
Yeah.
He's self-aware, and he is even self-deprecating when he there was the one point where he was like, "These lights are making me orange."
Yes, I love
You know, like
that.
everybody
Yeah.
laughed. It's like, we get it, dude. You're orange. He's self-aware. He knows. Yeah, man. It's like he's a funny guy.
You saw he's definitely self-deprecating. Like for example, remember that I can't remember what the phrases were, but there was an audio file that sounded like one word to some people and another word to others.
Was
Laurel
it
and Yanni.
Laurel
and
or Yanni. Yeah. And so the White House made a video.
Oh, I remember this.
They made a video of it was like Kellyanne Conway and I think Mike Pence and like a whole bunch of the cabinet, and they were listening and they were saying, it sounds like this, it sounds like this. Or I go, no, it's definitely Yanni, but it could be Laurel, like, you know, if you persuaded me. And at the very end, it had Trump sitting at the Resolute desk, and he's like, he goes, I hear Kofefi, and it's just like, and you know, which is hilarious. Like he's not like, I never said Kofefi.
I know, he rolled with
I never
it.
said it. I never typed it.
Well, he does sometimes like lie about weird things. Like he's like, I never called John McCain a loser. It's like, you tweeted you called him a loser.
Well, you know, maybe he was. I don't know. No, I look. I have.
But hold on. So I want to clarify that.
Sorry.
Trump called McCain a loser in reference to him losing in 2008. So I think he wasn't saying like, what a loser as a derogatory.
Right.
Like, he wasn't kind of being like, well, he was a loser because he lost, which is an insult. But either way, like he said those words, you know. But he does kind of just sometimes you're like, bro, we know you said it. You know what I mean? What are you doing? Just roll with it. But you know what the funny thing about that Laurel Yanni thing is?
Yeah.
And also there's the black and blue or gold and white dress.
Sure. Yeah.
You know the funniest thing about the whole thing is? There's nothing spectacular about that thing in any way. There is no psychological phenomenon. You know why that was happening? People have different phones. So when you listen to the word Laurel with a phone with no subwoofer, with a very just like a really high pitched microphone, like a crappy phone, you hear Yanni. But if you had a good phone, it was expensive, you heard Laurel. The same thing was true with the black and gold dress and, the black and blue and the white and gold dress. Depending on if you had the filters on your phone, like a blue filter or whatever, you would see a shadowed white and gold. And if you're looking on a computer, you'd see something slightly different. And so all of these people are viewing the same thing through different lenses and different devices and then being like, you're wrong. I know for a fact it's this.
How interesting.
And then it became like, but think about that. And then think about, do you remember when Jim Acosta brutally just like beat that woman in front of everyone? I'm kidding. Do you remember?
Whoa, I missed
Do you
that.
remember when Jim Acosta he yanked the microphone from the aide?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden there was a Laurel Yanni phenomenon where I had this like high profile journalist hit me up because I tweeted Jim Acosta clearly, like, I can't remember exactly what happened. It's been a long time. But what I think happened was she grabbed the mic and he was pushing her hand away at the same time. So it pulled her forward a little bit. And then I had someone message me like, are you seriously like believing that's what happened? Can't you watch the video? She yanked it from him. And I'm like, first of all, even if she did, so what? It's the White House's microphone.
Right.
And Jim Acosta shouldn't be like death gripping a microphone and refusing to back down. But you can actually see what it looks like happened is he's holding it. And then when she goes to grab it, he pushes her arm, or he tries to push it away, which pushes her arm and then makes her body move forward. Something like that, or his body, I guess.
Right.
I can't remember exactly what happened. But I was like, it could be very simple in that everybody has a different device with different resolutions, with different frame rates, and different people were literally seeing different video displays.
Well, one thing, the Nick Sandman thing was like, if you knew he was just smiling because he was nervous, it looked different than if you thought he was getting in the dude's face.
That's another really good example. People's biases altered their perception of what was even going on.
Dude, all the time.
Yep. So Donald Trump, you actually, a really good example is there's this famous comic where it's a camera. There's like a camera guy filming, and then in the lens of the camera, you see someone shocked, like screaming, and there's like someone holding a knife. But then the bigger picture is someone running away, and the other person's holding the knife. So it's like the image was distorted by how they framed it. So it's a reference to framing in media. Mm-hmm. So when you have Nick Sandman, all the people who hate Trump immediately were like, we know exactly what that is. Mm-hmm. And they didn't stop to think. And so that came out in the news. Oh, they have to pay out settlements because of it. But I think
womp womp.
Yeah, they should pay more.
I'm so sorry, CNN. Oh. You poor people.
I know.
My goodness.
Did you see this? My favorite thing is Jim Acosta tweeted the other day, Donald Trump finally condemns white supremacy on
I know
Hannity.
where you're going with this.
But then in 2017, the tweet from Acosta where he's like, Donald Trump denounces white supremacy and the KKK.
I actually marked that down for
racism is evil. Congratulations. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.